What's up, YouTube? This your main man, Baby the Hero, back again with another video. And last week, my boy Marshawn Lynch got ejected from the Thursday night football game because there was an incident between the Raiders offensive line and the Chiefs defensive back Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters, who happens to be Marshawn's cousin, so Marshawn decided to run off the sideline onto the field to get the offensive line off his cousin and calm the situation down. In the midst of all of that, he ended up pushing and shoving on the referee, getting himself ejected, right? Now, that night ended up being super crazy, and we got another video coming about that. But he ended up getting ejected, sneaking back into the game, watching it from the stands, then riding the public transit home on the train with the rest of the fans and stuff from Oakland. Super cool stuff, right? But then my man Martin, I don't know where I got Martin Luther. My man Randy Moss, he's speaking some Martin Luther King type wisdom. Maybe that's why I got confused here. But he's on NFL Countdown, and he's talking about Marshawn Lynch in that situation, right? Because Marshawn is such a likable guy that even in that crazy situation, people are like, man, that Marshawn Lynch is a cool dude, man. He just out here doing what he can. So he kind of gives a different side, a different perspective on that situation. Even one that I'll admit that I hadn't even got there, because I was so enamored and thinking Marshawn Lynch is so cool that I was like, man, he just Marshawn being Marshawn. Let's check it out.
What point is his production on the field, which hasn't been great this year, not worth the cost of all that?
Well, I remember after the Green Bay Packers incident where I mooned the crowd, I had a call with their offensive line coach, was then my head coach, Mike Tice. And the one thing he told me is, Randy, I'm the head coach. You cannot put me in a position like this. And I never really understood where he was coming from, Coach, right, where he's talking about, I love you, I'm going to defend you to the day I die, but Randy, you put me in a bad situation where I have to somewhat find a way to discipline you or something. And I look at a coach like Jack Del Rio, where he is a player's coach. We all know that. The history speaks for itself. But Marshawn Lynch, he's always been there for Marshawn Lynch, and I've been through it before. Marshawn Lynch has put Coach Jack Del Rio in a bad situation. We talking about him running off the field. We're talking about him putting his hands on the referee. But me, Jack Del Rio, got him to Oakland, and now he's putting him in a bad situation to where he has to really step up for Marshawn Lynch, knowing that Marshawn Lynch was in trouble. So I kind of feel for Jack Del Rio, head coach, because they just won the game. It helped.
See, that to me is deep, man. Even the initial question, right, that the lady asked of, at what point does those shenanigans outweigh the benefit of having him on the team, right? And I think that growing up, man, I know a ton of players, a ton of athletes, a ton of really cool people, super duper talented, but so many off the field shenanigans or just so many things that hampered them from being able to really maximize their potential because of so many different shenanigans, right? And I feel like a lot of times when players or people, we put ourselves in those situations where we feel like this is a bad decision that we made for ourselves, right? Sometimes we overlook the fact of how many people really want to see you make it. And when you make a bad decision for yourself, you take their ability to help you make it from them, right? So they want to give you a shot. I know players who, I'm talking about top recruits, top players in the country type situation, and at the best programs in the country, got cut, got sent home. Another shot at a really good program, got sent home. Another shot at got sent home. Got a chance to go pro, got sent home. And it's just there's this thing of growth. What Randy said is even at that time where he got the call from Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson telling him, Randy, you putting me in a bad situation. I'm the head coach. I want to support you. I want to keep you on the field. I want you to be on this team. But when you do that, I got to go to bat for a decision and an action that I don't even agree with. But I disagree with you so much that I'm willing to fight for you, but you got to be willing to control yourself for me to be able to fight for you, right? So I think that a lot of times we make decisions and we have actions because we thinking like, this is me, I want to do whatever, you got to accept me for who I am, right? And we ask people to sacrifice how they feel to keep us around, right? But then we sometimes don't want to sacrifice our own actions in order to help people help us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what I hear from when I hear Randy talking about that, and it really just like it just makes me think about like that kid who's at school who is like not paying attention, acting up, cutting up, and the school got to keep calling them their parents, calling their mama, calling their dad. You got to keep showing up, and the school is trying to do whatever they can to get this kid out of here. He gonna have to go. And you got these parents who know their kid out here outrageous, acting the ass, and they still fighting and fighting. And then you just looking at your kid like, yo, like, help me help you. You know what I'm saying? I know you know better. I know you know that what you got going on right now ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I challenge you all who watching this video to think like, man, are you the person who is like forcing somebody else to fight for you even though you know you dead ass wrong, right? And you got them going to bat for you, putting a word on the line for you, and you know for a fact that you on that bullshit, right? And you don't even know why you on the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Or are you somebody who is fighting for somebody right now who consistently on that bullshit, right? And I challenge you, man, if you that person, to apply the right kind of pressure, man. I'm telling you, I coach my son's football team, and I have some kids. These little kids can get passionate about this flag football. I got a kid who, he whine more than LeBron James. A bad call happened, he want to know why the ref didn't call it. The kid had his flag to the side, his jersey wasn't tucked in. What we gonna do about it? And I'd be like, look, man, we just playing ball. Just focus on the game. Focus on the game. And he'll get so frustrated, he'll take a flag and toss it at somebody. And I understand, right? There'd be a missed call, and I could understand why you'd be frustrated, right? But then I had to look at him and say, yo, you go sit down. Go find your dad and go sit down somewhere, because we're not going to do that on the team, right? And it's just like those moments where I feel like it comes a time where you start to, we talked about this with the Josh Gordon thing, right? Where it's like, are you enabling somebody to make mistakes? Or are you giving them an opportunity to grow, right? Is this enabling? Are you enabling, or are you giving a second chance, right? And I just challenge you to think about that, man, with the folks in your life, like a Marshawn Lynch right now, right? Is this a situation where, obviously, the coach, Mike Tice, offensive line coach he's talking about, or Jack Del Rio's head coach, is he going to enable Marshawn Lynch to just be Marshawn Lynch? Or is he going to give him a second chance, you know what I'm saying, to come and then really think about the team? Because even when you talk to Marshawn Lynch, or people interviewed him and stuff, or they interview people who talk to him, he realized that, you know what I'm saying, he was tripping, and he realized the situation that he put the team in, because that was a super close game that came down to really 2 untimed downs at the end, and basically from the 1-yard line. And as we know what happened with the Seattle Seahawks, when they didn't give Marshawn the ball, you know what I'm saying, they threw it through an interception. The Raiders was basically in the same situation. I remember watching the game. I didn't really watching the game, but I was watching, the Cavs was on at the same time I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I was like, oh, on the one, they finna just hand this thing to Marshawn. And Marshawn wasn't even in the game. I didn't even realize it, because he had got ejected. If they hadn't have got that touchdown, like, I couldn't only imagine how silly Marshawn would have felt. Like, yo, this was the situation that happened a couple years ago. All they had to do was give me the ball, and they didn't. Like, what's going on? Man, I messed up. But that's life, man. It's your main man, A the Hero. I'm out. Peace.